Hello, Internet friends. I am Adam Green. This is No More News. Thank you all for joining me today, Thursday, January 8th, 2026. So much to cover today. Gonna be a huge show. Only made possible thanks to you guys and your support. Powerchat.live/No More News linked down in the description below and pinned to the top of the live chat. We got the latest with Trump in Venezuela, a little bit about the ICE Minnesota shooting, ton of rabbi clips, some Christian stuff, some of the crackdown on anti-Semitism. You guys know how it goes. Another day in Zion, basically. The Daily Zion, another installment of the Daily Zion. First, let's start with Trump again threatening to strike Iran very hard and make them pay if they kill any protesters, which I'm sure we're behind agitating to a large degree.
Mark Dubovitz, so this is a quote, "If President Trump brings down the Islamic Republic of Iran, he will cement his place as the greatest foreign policy president since Ronald Reagan." I think it would actually...
I thought I already did that.
I was just about to add, with Midnight Hammer, you did that.
How much more can I do? You know, we just had Venezuela. We just had Midnight Hammer.
Yeah.
We always get the most kosher clips from Hugh Hewitt. When Trump is on with Hugh Hewitt, yeah, we had the Operation Midnight Hebrew Hammer. We really dropped the hammer on those Amalekites.
Midnight Hammer.
Yeah.
We settled 8 wars.
8 and a quarter.
But I'm willing to accept that.
Yeah.
You know, I'm willing to accept it.
What about Iran? Is the aim with Iran the collapse of that awful 47-year tyranny?
Well, I don't want to say it, but I will tell you they're not doing well.
Number 47, President number 47, Donald Trump's going to take down the 47-year dictatorship that the CIA in America helped put into power, the mullahs.
Well, as you know, probably better than anybody, they're doing very poorly. And I have let them know that if they start killing people, which they tend to do during their riots, they have lots of riots, if they do it, we're going to hit them very hard.
Now, dozens have been killed. I know you don't do red lines, but have you communicated to them what that limit of your patience is?
Well, some have been killed by, you know, problems of crowd control and other things. We're watching it very closely. The crowds are so large, there's been a stampede. There's been 3 stampedes, and people have been killed and that, and I'm not sure I can necessarily hold somebody responsible for that. But they know, and they've been told very strongly, even more strongly than I'm speaking to you right now, that if they do that, they're going to have to pay hell.
Do you?
So the poly markets, the markets, everybody's speculating about, is the attack on Iran imminent now? Remember, we covered in the last stream, Naftali Bennett, he did the hourglass, flipped over the hourglass and put up some countdown. The hourglass, the sand is all on the bottom, and I don't know where that countdown is at yet, but Big Nothing Burger, nothing happened. What was that about? Just bullshit? Engagement baiting from the former prime minister? Donald Trump, being quoted in the New York Times, says, "I don't need international law." I discussed on the last stream how it's like Donald Trump is going MAGA king, going rogue, a rogue state, the mad dictator. Now says, "I don't need international law. We don't need international law. The laws don't matter." A lot of the rules-based order talk being ignored. Trump says Cuba hanging by a thread.
Marco has a little Cuban blood in him.
To Cuba, Miguel Diaz-Canel, do you think he could fall like Khomeini in Iran might fall?
Yeah, I think that Cuba's hanging by a thread. Cuba's in big trouble. Look, Cuba got all of its money for protecting. They were like a protector. They're tough, strong people. They're great people. Marco has a little Cuban blood in him. I think Marco's not doing a bad job, right? What do you think? Can I ask you one question?
Sure.
How is Marco Rubio doing?
Is the equal of any Secretary of State of my lifetime, and I'm glad he's not taking the Dolphins job. He should work for the Browns if he leaves your administration.
In 2015, it was, he's Adelson's little puppet. Alex Jones, it was like Marco Rubio. He's a globalist. He's a traitor. He's a blah, blah, blah.
Successful, but no, I think that I think that Cuba's really in a lot of trouble. But, people have been saying that for many years, in all fairness about Cuba. Cuba's been in trouble for the last 45 years, and, they haven't quite gone down. But I think they're pretty close of their own volition.
To Cuba, Miguel Diaz-Canel, do you think
on their own volition? Nothing has to do it. Here's a Fell for It Again compilation CNN put together. Trump promising on the campaign trail no foreign interventions, and then the new rhetoric. See this?
Compare what he's been saying lately in the last few days about foreign interventions to the kinds of things he said previously when it comes to the campaign trail and as he was running for office.
Colombia is very sick, too, run by a sick man who likes making cocaine and selling it to the United States, and he's not going to be doing it very long, let me tell you. We believe that the job of the United
All the cokeheads are like, no.
Not to wage endless regime change wars. You have to do something with Mexico.
Don Jr.'s like, no.
Act together because they're pouring through Mexico, and we're going to have to do something. The cartels are running Mexico, whether you like it or not. It's not nice to say, but the cartels are running Mexico. We will stop racing to topple foreign, and you understand this, foreign regimes that we know nothing about, that we shouldn't be involved with.
There's been protesters killed in Iran.
If they start killing people like they have in the past, I think they're going to get hit very hard by the United States. Regime change in Iraq.
This would be like China going, we're going to hit America really hard. ICE killed a anti-immigration protester. Like, we're going to have to hit them hard. It's funny.
In Libya, regime change in Syria, and every other globalist disaster for half a century. We need Greenland from the standpoint of national security, and Denmark is not going to be able to do it. We're getting out of the nation-building business and instead focusing on creating stability in the world. The American dominance in the Western Hemisphere will never be questioned again. Stupid foreign wars in countries that you've never heard of. This Tuesday is your chance to stand up and declare that you're not going to take.
Also, a lot of the rhetoric we've been hearing. Oh, white Aryan Muslim.
Sent $5 you weren't streaming earlier, so I watched Tucker and Megyn Kelly about Venezuela.
I know. I've seen
they are
a few of those
both
clips.
weird.
They're awful. I wish you never had to see
Maxed
their
Out
faces
Bear sent
or hear them.
$20 on Rumble. Unlike Larry David, I will wish Happy New Year through the end of January. So Happy New Year.
Thank you, Maxed Out Bear. That's a funny bit, though. Is it really? Happy New Year. Is it really? It's too late. Yeah, Zio Puppet fell for it again. Although Trump did promise, I'm going to build up the military bigger than ever. Now he's posting it's going to go from 1 trillion to 1.5 trillion. Also, exactly like I predicted, I said, they're all of the Trump's enemies and our adversaries in the world are all going to say, your hemisphere, you get to do whatever you want, Don Road doctrine. Well, I guess Russia's saying now, well, I guess it's their neighbor in their hemisphere. They get to take Ukraine. Or China, Taiwan, it's their hemisphere. It's close to them. They get to take it. National security. And they are all using that justification now. Got a clip of Alex Jones calling for the multipolar world, the Duganist multipolar world with Jackson Hinkle. Here's the post from the 1 trillion to our military budget for the year 2027 should not be $1 trillion, but rather $1.5 trillion. The dream military, the greatest military to ever exist. Fell for it again award. Dugan is really calling, he is, as I saw Lucas Gage just posted, he's Magog maxing. Really trying to instigate a Russian attack and get everybody on board and supporting it. Russia is obliged to do something horrible to restore her credibility. It is very sad that we have to use such kind arguments, but we have not choice. Only brutality, force, mass destruction, and cruelty do matter in Trump-like world. Either you hit first or you are dead. Nice little Dugan accent there. If I heard him first, I would do a little better. But, and there it is. Scott Ritter, the other Russian agent. Your president has committed Russia to a path of multipolarity founded on the premise of a law-based global order. This gives Russia a credibility that is unmatched. Trump does not set that standard. Putin does. Dude, just move to Russia already, you freaking shill. Owen Schroyer says Russia is reportedly removing all its citizens from Israel. 23,000 likes. A source? Let's see. If I put that into Google, am I going to get any mainstream media? No, I see a Facebook post. I see Owen's Twitter post. Moscow Times, I'm not sure how legitimate they are. Middle East Monitor, another questionable one. Russia embassy in Israel advises citizens to leave. Is this because they're going to support Iran in an attack on Israel, which America will attack Iran and then they attack us? Is that how this is going to go down? If Dugin has his way, if the Kabbalists have their way, that could be it. Because previously, Putin had said that he's not going to support Iran in that way because there's so many Russian Jews living in Israel. China issues a final warning against the illegal U.S. blockade of Venezuela. There was also some news about an oil tanker that was supposed to go to Russia that we hijacked or something. Let's see
is a
this.
cooperation between sovereign states.
Things are heating up, to say the
The
least.
United States has brazenly resorted to the use of force against Venezuela and demanded that America First be applied when Venezuela disposes of its own oil resources. This is a typical act of bullying, a serious violation of international law, and a grave infringement on Venezuela's sovereignty that also severely undermines the rights of Venezuelan people. China strongly condemns this. I would like to stress that the legitimate rights and interests of China and other countries in Venezuela must be protected. The United States has long imposed illegal unilateral sanctions on Venezuela's oil sector and has recently brazenly used force against Venezuela, dealing a severe blow to the country's economic and social order and also threatening the stability of global production and supply chains. China has already issued strong condemnation in this regard. I would like to reiterate that cooperation between China and Venezuela is a cooperation between sovereign states and is protected by international law and laws of both countries.
China's pissed. Does anybody think that there's not gonna be a reaction from Russia in China on this? Look at what Scott Ritter's pushing too here. 7,000 likes. He says he's calling on Russia to attack America. They're really trying to egg it on. They're really trying to kick off World War III. He says it's time to punch the camel in the nose. There's an old saying from the Arab world that if you allow a camel to stick his nose under the tent, soon the camel will be inside the tent. Trump has taken America down a very dangerous path, one where the rule of law has been replaced by the notion that might makes right. A bold departure from the past where the U.S. at least tried to go through the motions of adhering to the processes, if not the principles, of the various legal frameworks that hold the world together. Didn't Scott Ritter shill for Trump, by the way, to get elected? I'm pretty sure he did. But Brother BD
sent $5 on Rumble.
Yeah.
Al be shy shilling those same talking points as Duggan and Ritter. Doesn't Al know that Putin doesn't respect traitors? Putin would shoot Al for being a traitor to his own country.
Oh, you mean if he was in Russia? Totally. Yeah, if there was somebody in Russia that was doing the equivalent of what these Putin shills do in America, would not be acceptable. They'd be in jail or in the gulag real quick. This is okay. Hold on. Let's just get to the part. Oh, gross violation of international law. Kidnapped the sitting president. Russia needs to smack the camel and get it to back off now. If it doesn't, the camel will be in the tent before you know it. This means World War III. I love how he's calling for, like, Russia attacking America. That's not going to get us in World War III. No, Russia not responding and attacking America. That's the end of the world. Punch the camel in the nose. So we got Duggan and Scott Ritter, these guys advocating for Russia to attack America, egging on their Gog and Magog war. Let's see about the ship. Fox News' coverage of the ship.
Known as the Bella 1 had been.
This was yesterday.
The ship, previously known as the Bella One, had been accused of violating American sanctions and shipping Iranian oil. The ship has also transported Venezuelan oil in the past, but is reporting to be empty right now. Photos showing a U.S. Army Little Bird helicopter with a boarding party on the skids have been seen abeam of the tanker. Little Birds are flown by the U.S. military's elite 160th Special Operations Aviation Regiment, known as the Night Stalkers. This is the same unit that flew into Venezuela to grab Nicolas Maduro and his wife last weekend as part of the full Pegasus.
This is in between Iceland and Ireland.
Trump. Now,
I want to go to Iceland. Iceland.
Other vessels to escort the oil.
Well, look up like travel to Iceland videos. It looks so cool in Iceland.
Tanker. It appears the U.S. military got there first. The sanctioned tanker was recently reflagged to become a Russian vessel. Last month, President Trump ordered a full blockade of sanctioned oil tankers entering and leaving Venezuela. And the U.S. Coast Guard had been trying to board the ship last month in the Caribbean when she was heading to Venezuela. The Justice Department issued a warrant to seize that ship over its alleged sanctions violations for transporting oil on behalf of Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, which is classified as a foreign terrorist organization. The tanker then changed course and raced to Europe, with the U.S. Coast Guard cutter in hot pursuit to shadow the tanker. In recent days, the U.S. military sent a boarding team of commandos to Britain for the mission of boarding and taking down the tanker. Previous tracking data showed the sanctioned tanker about 100 miles south of Iceland, likely trying to get to Russia. And now, Dana, U.S. forces are reportedly trying to seize a second oil tanker in the Caribbean. As we've just learned, we are working to confirm that second.
The other one was named Sophia, which is interesting because Sophia is it's a thing. It's a thing in Orthodox Christianity. Dugan talks about it. I saw conspiracy truther posting about that. Okay, before we get to the ICE agent, I want to show you Jones and his supposed debate with Duganist and Russia shill and communist third worlder shill Jackson Hinkle. Jones goes, this debate, all of Jones's rhetoric is basically like, now Russia gets Ukraine and we're dividing up the world to the multipolar world, and that's the way it should be. This is all that he's still got. I was trying to figure it out. Like, why are some of the Russia Dugan shills so supportive of Trump doing this? And I see now why. Why is RT promoting the Nick Fuentes, like, kill him and take the oil rhetoric edits? And it's to vilify and say, oh, look, we're so bad, to justify everybody turning against us.
They're all the rules-based order.
Well, I can tell you one thing. Whoever's saying...
New Yorker in exile sent $5. The post-war consensus and institution are being destroyed by its American creator.
Yeah.
Without NATO, it will just be the rogue states of U.S. Israel versus the world.
Yeah, remember what the Rabbi Anava said? He's like, America won't win a war against 3-4 armies. It's gonna be the whole world against America and Israel, and then Israel's gonna abandon us and blame us and scapegoat us, and then we get destroyed and Edom falls. There's your...
sent $8 hard to accept
Aldo
that
Wally.
you green-pilled me, became Muslim at 15, then stumbled onto Gnostic Informant and you debunking Christianity.
Yes.
I applied it to my belief and it just kept tumbling, but thanks as you helped a lot with deconverting me.
All right. Yeah, we're green-pilling the Muslims as well. They've fallen for the Judeo-deception. Who was it? A Muslim green-pilled guy? Remember the Muslim green-pilled guy that donated the other day? That's what we want to hear, okay? That's actually being green-pilled when you realize Islam is fake and Jewish too. Thank you for the support, dude. Happy to hear that. All right.
And I know it wasn't you. It was someone that...
Yo, Western Alliance Resistance is here. What's up, dude? Hey, did you never see I messaged you? I said I wanted to get you on. Dude, I have not seen one of your tweets on my timeline for months. Are you not tweeting? I like seeing your videos.
Your show, but whoever's saying that this is
clips,
possibly, an operation to get Maduro to admit that Venezuela was behind the rigging of the elections and whatnot, that's a non-starter. It's a common misconception that Venezuela has, corrupt elections. And the last elections were actually pretty close in Venezuela. Venezuela has their own election system that they produce. They have an independent election monitoring organization. They have voter ID. They have thumbprint verification. They have signature verification. We have none of that in the U.S. They have electronic ballots and paper ballots, which are all double counted in front of all the political parties. And all the paper ballots have to match the electronic ballots and the thumbprint and the ID.
That's a whole nother debate, but I disagree with you on that. We've seen there were all sorts of issues and people trying to.
Let's do it, Western Alliance. DM me on Twitter. And guys, Western Alliance, you may have seen him. He covers a lot of the Russia stuff.
Bring the receipts and getting arrested. Are you denying that the regime arrests political opposition and things like that?
Well, of course, when opposition is calling for airstrikes on the civilians of the people, yes, they'll get arrested. I mean,
okay, well, maybe you and Dugan and Scott Ritter should all be arrested then. If that's okay. If people in your country advocating for foreigners to come in and take out the government, maybe you should be arrested.
If you had a U.S. congressman that was out there advocating that Russia should
just calling the balls and strikes here, folks,
Ohio, and kill a bunch of civilians, and then they did it. What do we really think would happen? That person would be arrested and probably tried for treason. And if they celebrated it after,
like,
the fact,
you should be.
Well, let's talk big picture.
And Jones.
There's a New York Times article, and I don't usually agree with them, but how the Monroe Doctrine, meaning Trump-Monroe Doctrine, reinforces Xi's vision of power in Asia. I've read a lot of the Russian publications. They talked about a behind-the-scenes deal that hasn't been inked, but okay, you have your area, we have ours, and then the UN says, oh,
see, this is what he's pushing for now. Because we took out Maduro, Russia can have Ukraine. That's the Alex Jones narrative now. So much for a debate over this.
All of the rules-based order. Well, the EU, the globalists, they're the most corrupt. They have no power.
Oh, the globalists, the EU, the Europeans, they're the most corrupt. Right?
China's not working with them anymore. So that old order's over. So what's supposed to happen with China, Russia, and the U.S.? I mean, it is the U.S. because Russia's going to project power in its region. China's going to do it in his.
Russia's going to project power in Ukraine. What does he want China to all? There's an old clip of Fuentes saying this too. Fuentes said he wants to see China take Singapore. He wants Russia to take Ukraine. And now it's like, because Trump's doing this, it's giving the perfect pretext where even Jones now is saying.
And theirs. And so quite frankly, I am overall saying go to a tripolar world.
Yeah, he means the Duganist multipolar world, the tripolar world. We don't need the UN. We don't need NATO and the European Union and the Bilderberg Group and the globalists and the reptilians and the clockwork elves. We need Russia and China to have more power and do whatever they want on their side of the world. There it is.
And you've got Russia promoting family values, all the rest of it. Xi getting off the one shot.
Russia's family values, it's a Christian nation. And Xi's got China's against the globalists now. Everybody knows. Hear that?
Policy. I mean, I think that's great compared to the UN BlackRock world government. I mean, I don't see this actually as good for the global scene of the day.
But as for your point about the Monroe Doctrine, as they're calling it, one thing we should all remember is that the Monroe Doctrine, it gets a bad rap in history because the truth about the Monroe Doctrine was that it said that Europe needs to stay out.
See, we already are in basically a tripolar world. This whole idea that it's a unipolar American empire, hegemonic unipolar world is a lie. Russia and China have more nukes than both of us. If there was a big war, we very well could lose. So this whole idea, their economies, they know that all of that stuff, it's a lie. All of that is just to weaken the West. That's propaganda to weaken the West. And now Jones is saying, oh, the UN, the globalists, blah, blah, blah. They should be able to do whatever they want over there. They should be able to build up and be our main adversaries.
Of Latin America, out of the Western Hemisphere, right? But
it's those European Nazis. Putin's trying to denazify, and he's against the globalists and the Rothschilds and the Bilderbergers.
that if Europe stayed out of the Western Hemisphere, that the U.S. would also stay out of Central and Southern America. It wasn't until Roosevelt came in with what is called the Roosevelt Corollary to the Monroe Doctrine. And
right, Western Alliance. Breaking up NATO is the Kremlin's #1 objective, and Trump is helping it along. Yeah, these threats to Denmark, they're all saying, oh, this will be the end of NATO. And Alex Jones has been anti-NATO propaganda since the very beginning. Yep. Anti-UN and anti-NATO, and it's the rabbis and the Zionists that always want to break up the UN, the anti-Semitic globalist UN, right? They always saying that they want Israel to be the Supreme Court of mankind, not the UN. And yes, all the propaganda, the main propaganda talking point is break up NATO.
Which the United States government said, oh, yeah, and by the way, because we're in the Western Hemisphere, we get to,
No, you're right. It really is the Teddy Roosevelt corollary. You know your history.
Yeah, that's when they started to say, we're going to steal all your assets. We're going to, treat you like slaves and cattle in Latin America. So
well, that's the
really
beginning of gunboat diplomacy. Well, his issue was building the Panama Canal and all the rest of that stuff.
Well, I'll say one more thing about the people are oftentimes comparing this Venezuela operation to what Russia's doing or what China's doing. They're saying China poses a threat in the Western Hemisphere. We should make no mistake about it that every single people, every single country have a sovereign right, a God-given right to choose who they want to be friends with and who they don't want to be friends with. If the CIA has been assassinating and targeting and planning coup plots against the leaders of Venezuela for decades and decades on end, and putting in military junta governments and dictatorships in Venezuela and all across Latin America, maybe it shouldn't be a surprise to us that they want to do business with China and Russia instead. That being said, China has achieved
I'm sure China and Russia have never done any meddling over there at all.
Everything that they've done, the trade routes, the shipping,
Rochelle sent $5 Roosevelt Corollary. Have a good weekend, Adam.
Thank you, Rochelle. You too.
Trade that they're doing all across the world, beating the U.S. in many countries without firing a single bullet, without firing a single missile. Why can't the United States do it? We can do it, but we choose this demonic path of ripping presidents and their wives out of their beds in the middle of the night and slaughtering 80 Catholic civilians. I can't get behind this in any way, shape, or form. We should do win-win cooperation. We should be pragmatic business people. We should not be, killing people.
Well, I wanted to get you on your perspective, and overall, I'm against regime change. I've been against all of these because they work for U.S. interest. I've seen the evidence of Smartmatic and China and the manipulation. I mean, I've been on there 30-something years, and for at least 27 years, when I had these voting experts on, but nobody was talking about Venezuela. And the idea that Venezuela is at this big clandestine crossroads with Cuba today only.
All right, that's it. That's it. Okay, before we get into ICE, there's some more Iran stuff too. Let's see, where's my Iran? Before we move on to Iran, let's see some of another big Russia shill, John Mersheimer's terrible predictions. You could put together some Scott Ritter terrible predictions as well.
Living their last days.
I haven't even watched this yet. I just want to see it. Had it bookmarked.
First of all, I'm predicting the future. And prediction is, a tricky business.
The Russians are doing very well for themselves, and I don't think they're going to invade. Putin is surely smart enough to know that invading Ukraine...
John, you're right.
Yo! Thank you, John. No.
It's about Kyle Wakeman on Instagram. He's rapidly growing there with 52K followers now and is very interested in the Abrahamic scam. Could you reach out to him on Insta? Having a big guy on our side would help us a lot.
Kyle, I'm not familiar with that name. And I don't see the DM. Is it a DM on Twitter or on Instagram? That's weird. All right, I'll look for that, John.
And owning it would be a prescription for huge trouble.
Russia overnight launched its long-anticipated attack on Ukraine. An unprovoked war in Europe is now underway.
What about the state of Israel? And with regard to the axis of resistance, it's in a long-term war that shows no signs of going away.
And so, with Nasrallah and Assad gone and Tehran's militias in Iraq appearing to be living their last days there, the Iranian proxy program has almost entirely collapsed.
I don't understand why Trump and company don't understand that Ukraine is going to lose, and it's going to lose reasonably soon.
It's a new year, but not much has changed for Russia or Ukraine. Both sides continue to trade.
They've been saying that since they first invaded in 2014.
So what I worry about is not the Iranians getting nuclear weapons and using them against Israel. I worry about the Israelis using nuclear weapons against Iran.
Really? You don't worry about that? Because I've seen Russian leaders threatening that. I've seen Dugin calling to give nukes to all of the enemies and point them against the West.
When Iran is in the process.
Glenn Greenwald, of course, on Glenn Greenwald's show.
President Trump says Israel and Iran have agreed to a full ceasefire taking effect in just a few hours.
Israel is the big loser. Israel is in really serious trouble today, and there's little hope of getting away from that moving forward.
It's funny how Scott Ritter's been saying all this stuff too and been totally wrong. He's like, oh, Hezbollah's going to completely destroy Israel. Remember he said that shit? He's like, Israel's got 2 weeks left. He says that type of shit all the time.
Second, that the Americans are also losers, but the winners are the Iranians.
People cheered in Tel Aviv celebrating this milestone moment. President Donald Trump declared a dawn of a new Middle East.
Iran's Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei.
Oh, Trump called for the new Middle East. You mean like Netanyahu and his little map at the UN for the new Middle East?
Has a plan to leave Tehran if his regime collapses. The report comes as demonstrations continue to spread nationwide, marked by increasingly open defiance of the Islamic Republic.
I'm simply going to tell you, based on a lot of experience thinking about these issues, what I think is going to happen.
You know, you can talk about maybe sending in special forces teams that can decapitate the regime. First of all, Maduro is going to be very hard to get at. He knows you're coming after him, and he's going to do everything he can to hide. I wouldn't be surprised if he tried to work out a deal with Maduro.
Major breaking news.
He was apparently, the last interview said he was wanting to make a deal.
Nicolas Maduro has been captured by U.S. forces. President Trump confirming the large-scale U.S. military operation overnight.
I find it hard to believe that he's going to do anything substantial from a military point of view against Venezuela.
Dude, this gets wrong about everything. Who's still listening to these guys?
Change in the history of the change is coming to Iran. It'll be the biggest change in the history of the Mideast to get rid of this Nazi regime. To the people of Iran, help is on the way.
Nazi regime. Okay, I think that's all I had here. Let's do a little bit of the Minnesota. The Civil War happening in Minnesota as it's being billed.
The precedent here is very simple. You have a federal law enforcement official engaging in federal law enforcement action. That's a federal issue. That guy is protected by absolute immunity. He was doing his job. The idea that Tim Walz and a bunch of radicals in Minneapolis are going to go after and make this guy's life miserable because he was doing the job that he was asked to do is preposterous. The unprecedented thing is the idea that a local official can actually prosecute a federal official with absolute immunity. I've never seen anything like that. It would get tossed out by a judge. So what I'd like Minnesota to focus on is the real issue that they're encouraging people. Minneapolis officials are encouraging people to commit violence against ICE officials. The precedent here is very simple. You have a federal law enforcement.
Where our brave men and women.
And just so you know, if anybody's living under a rock, this is the ICE agent shot some white woman, some 27-year-old white woman in her car. It's like she was about to run the guy over or something like that. And this is all the responses to it.
The deadly.
Not going to spend too much time on this. I just wanted to see these latest press conference clips.
The deadly incident that took place in Minnesota yesterday occurred as a result of a larger, sinister left-wing movement that has spread across our country, where our brave men and women of federal law enforcement are under.
Behurst, Owen said said up for another show together on recent podcasts. Did he? Did somebody ask him that? I assume somebody super chatted or asked that.
Organized attack. Right now, immigration and customs enforcement officers are facing a 1,200% increase in assaults, a 3,200% increase in vehicle rammings, and an 8,000% increase in death threats. ICE agents are faithfully enforcing federal law to protect the safety of the American people by removing criminal illegal aliens from our country, which is exactly what nearly 80 million Americans elected President Trump and Vice President J.D. Vance to do.
A lesbian leftist had 3 kids. I didn't hear 3 kids. I heard she had some kids. And she should not be out there fighting with ICE to save some immigrants. Should have been taking care of her kids.
Are furious over this. They don't want our border secured or criminal illegal aliens being removed. As a result, Democrats are impeding immigration enforcement operations daily, creating extremely heightened and dangerous circumstances that make it nearly impossible for the men and women of law enforcement to simply do their jobs.
I like that everybody's supporting, all the Trump administration is supporting him so much and sending the right message. But regardless, the left is just going to be rallied up. They're going to be ready for a war. It's an event like this is causing an escalation in the social unrest in America.
And other fraudsters don't. We have, here's the simple fact here. If you're a young parent struggling to afford childcare in the United States of America, there are programs that we have to make it easier for your kids to get in daycare, for your kids to get in preschool. Those programs should go to American citizens, not be defrauded by Somali immigrants and others. Make it hard for you to get the access to the resources you need. But number 2, making it easier for people who shouldn't even be in this country to fleece the United States and our taxpayers to begin with. We have actually activated a major interagency task force to make it possible to get to the heart of this fraud. We have Department of Agriculture resources that are focused on SNAP fraud so that people who need food benefits can get them, but illegal aliens and other fraudsters don't. We have over
Prozac crowd is getting wound up.
1,500 subpoenas that the Department of Justice has issued to get to the heart of the fraud ring. We've done almost 100 indictments, mostly Somali immigrants.
Yeah, of course the left is calling for violence against ICE. They've been declaring war on ICE for a while. These people are ready to go to war with the police because they're trying to stop the mass immigration and kicking out the illegals. So ridiculous.
But also a few others. And of course, we're looking in with broad investigatory authority to a number of the instances of wrongdoing that we've seen in Minneapolis. But we also want to expand this. We know that the fraud isn't just happening in Minneapolis. It's also happening in states like Ohio. It's happening in states like California. And so what we're doing,
the new George Floyd,
coordinate this remarkable interagency effort from the Trump administration, but also to make sure that we prosecute the bad guys and do it as swiftly and efficiently as possible, is we are creating a new Assistant Attorney General position who will have nationwide jurisdiction over the issue of fraud. Now, of course, that person's efforts will start and focus primarily in Minnesota, but it is going to be a nationwide effort because, unfortunately, the American people have been defrauded in a very nationwide way.
Yeah, that's true, Tamara. They won't go full Floyd because she's white. Not enough of a martyr. I agree. Here's the mayor of Minneapolis, right? Jacob Frey, the Jewish guy that bowed down on his knees and was kissing their feet at the BLM George Floyd protests.
To ICE, get the fuck out of Minneapolis. Stated reason for being in this city.
Hey, government. Hey, federal government, get out of my city.
To ICE, get the fuck out of Minneapolis. Your stated reason for being in this city is to create some kind of safety, and you are doing exactly the opposite. Somebody is dead.
This is so stupid. Like, who does this guy think he is to say that he's going to protect illegals, and the government's not going to kick out illegal aliens. What is he? Oh, sanctuary city. We're going to protect you from the government. It's such bullshit.
That's on you. This was an agent recklessly using power that resulted in somebody dying. To the family, I'm so deeply sorry. We're going to be working towards justice as quickly as we possibly can right now. And justice is what we've all got to get. We're going to make sure that in this very difficult moment.
Isn't it confirmed? It's not like the woman was just like driving through to try to get home from work or something. From the grocery store, tried to drive to her house. Wasn't she there like interfering? She was an anti-ICE protester. Yeah, she's trying obstruction of justice. And then she's surrounded with police with guns drawn. And then she's not just going to stop and hands up and say, what do you want me to do? No, she tries to drive.
We do not take the bait that these ICE agents are trying to create and that the federal government, to be
such
clear,
a fake
wants.
little tough
People are going to want to exercise their First Amendment rights, but please do so safely and lawfully to ensure that we do not have any further tragedy in this city or destruction.
We can show them the kind of courage, bravery, love, and compassion.
She was trying to block the road. Why?
That makes Minneapolis. Let's unite around.
She was leading the protest?
And love and peace and getting justice.
She was following and harassing all day? Really?
Justice. To ICE.
Next one, I think, is Waltz, who's about to step down because of corruption and fraud or investigations or something, right? Or is stepping down, not going for re-election.
Order to prepare the Minnesota National Guard. We have soldiers in training and prepared to be deployed if necessary. I remind you, a warning.
Soldiers to go be deployed to fight ICE? Are you kidding me?
Order is a heads up for folks. And these National Guard troops are our National Guard troops. They're teachers in your community. They're business owners. They're construction professionals. They are Minnesotans. Minnesota will not allow our community to be used as a prop in a national political fight. We will not take the bait. We will continue to update you, Minnesota, as we...
A prop. They are following the law and deporting illegals.
Get more information. Now I'd like to turn it over to Commissioner Order to prepare the...
And reacting to the widespread fraud that's going on over there. Okay, we got some Netanyahu. Look at this. Ex-Mossad chief admits Israel has planted bombs in most countries.
Not only Booby. Did you see any surprises in Gaza?
Surprises?
Yeah.
Like intelligence surprises?
Pages, walkie-talkies.
Optics Prime sent $5 on Rumble. We need the Green Road Doctrine. No Noahides in the Western Hemisphere.
Green Row Doctrine. No Noahides. Yeah. No more Judaism religions. Construction professionals. Is that what he said? Yeah, Dr. Phil Schilling for Israel again. Yeah, Minnesota needs to be invaded by the federal government. That's true. Yeah, they got to shut it down until they can figure out what's going on there.
You know how many treated equipment do we have in these countries? You don't. I do.
You mean
I do.
You mean
Salty Nuts, who are you? You've never been here before. You sound like a woman. You're wrong on this one. ICE has been acting tyrannical since Trump got in. I support ICE. I want ICE deporting every illegal they can find. Every criminal on a green card or whatever. Tyrannical. Oh, they're arresting people. I'm for it.
You mean booby-trapped equipment?
Not only booby-trapped.
And spying.
Manipulated equipment. All right?
In which countries are you talking about?
All the countries that you can imagine.
Oh, my God.
And not Gaza?
Not Gaza.
Did anybody think they would only do pagers in Hezbollah? Remember when Greenblatt was at the Knesset and he goes, we need genius ideas like the pagers to fight anti-Semitism in America where he works.
Nothing in
Gaza at all.
Did you see that? If we had it, I mean, we knew something about them coming.
Salty Nuts says you've been here for 4 years and I've never seen you comment once. I would remember a name like Salty Nuts. Not on the right side on this one. Hey, maybe the woman going to obstruct what's going on with the federal government And then to drive her car in the direction of a dude, a federal officer pointing a gun at her. How about going out there and risking her life when she's a mother of 3 children to save illegals from being deported is retarded.
Something, right? I would have sold them everything. Just everything. I mean, you can't imagine.
Dude, who would want to get Israeli tech? Netanyahu's whole thing. Like, Israel's like, oh, we're going to sell so much tech. We've got the best tech made in Israel. Best technology, best innovation, best startups. And then now it's like, who's going to want their stuff? Oh, but to boycott their technology is anti-Semitism and anti-BDS laws. So you take the pager, goy. Take the pager, goy.
The quantity, when I have invented that method, that was in 2002 to 2004.
The pager method.
The manipulated equipment method.
Ooh. They've been doing it since 2003? Dude, look at that. This is former Mossad head?
Okay. We have already used it. Manipulated equipment in Second Lebanon War. Some of the elements.
Not to mention all the spying, the Promise, the Pegasus, the NSO group.
Were speaking to us.
How did you use it?
Want a glass of water?
We can get some brandy.
Yeah,
He can tell you, but he didn't.
I know it's an early morning in London. I mean, I don't think that is the case. But how did we do it? I tell you.
Okay. Let's see Dr. Phil shilling Netanyahu.
Sacrifice their own. Do you believe?
Sorry, it's not Dr. Phil anymore. It's Dr. Shill.
That in that they value death and the rest of the world values life. Do you believe that this was choreographed by them to sacrifice their own people as pawns in a public relations ploy?
Well, without a doubt. I mean, because they as I told you, at gunpoint, they were trying to keep their civilians in danger. They didn't care if people died. In fact, they cherished it because they could put it on the main news channels and so on, and it poisoned people's minds.
Do you believe?
Really hard-hitting stuff here. Real journalism here from Dr. Phil. The shameless Jewish shill, Dr. Phil. Do the Palestinians just love death and want to sacrifice themselves and kill their children because they hate Jews so much? Well, of course. I'm glad you brought it up, Phil.
Believe that in that they value death and the rest of the world values life. Do you believe that this was choreographed by them to sacrifice their own people?
They just wanted to. Do you think the Palestinians just wanted to sacrifice themselves and their children because they hate Israel so much and want to blow you off the map? Oh, yes, of course, Dr. Shill. What a question. Because they're evil and Amalek in the darkness and you're the God's chosen people and God is on your side no matter what you do, and you love life and they love death and you're the light and they're the darkness. Like, what kind of question is this? Here's another one.
And I'm really interested in how he looks at this, because this has been one of the longest wars they faced, and the cost has been
war. You have to have two armies for there to be a war. Oh, the poor Israel and the longest war that they've faced. They've really suffered through this Gaza conflict, right?
Really high politically, humanitarian-wise, and has taken a tremendous toll on him and the Israeli people, both domestically and internationally. I'm really interested in
it's taken such a toll. But I know all the videos you see of like the Palestinian mothers and fathers like holding their dead, blown up kids, screaming and crying. That's actually just a sacrifice. They love it. They love death so much they're sacrificing their children, and they just get off on having the Jews blow up their kids. They love it. Of course. Obviously. Pretty sick. Pretty sick. What do you guys think about this? Can you believe that? Are you not entertained?
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained? Is this not why you are here?
You want something really entertaining? Check out this guy, Giorgiani, and his kooky theory about the Nordic overlords that secretly run the world.
These gods or devas or angels.
Dude, do you see that first guy? Who's that look like? You guys see the resemblance? You got a problem, Giorgiani? You got some blonde hair, blue eye envy going on here with your kooky theories? Nordic, alien, reptilian, interdimensional demons. Dude, I didn't realize how kooky this Giorgiani guy was.
Gods or devas or angels are all the same beings. They are these sadistic, deceptive Nordic overlords who have sent various prophets and emissaries and gurus and so on and so forth to control human society.
Yeah, dude, the Nordic overlords have sent in the Jesus, and I guess that's Mohammed, and your yogi gurus to brainwash humanity. Adam is, yeah, I'll be your Nordic overlord, Goy.
And so on and so forth to control human society. And the only exception to that in all of recorded history is the Iranian worldview of Mithraism,
good music,
teaching of Zarathustra. Prometheus and Mithra are both iterations of a, I think, singular Indo-European titan associated with fire.
Fight the Nordic overlords.
And resistance to this celestial tyranny.
Dude, I hope Nordic Hyperborean Aryan overlords are running things. That would be quite the plot twist. Yeah, he's another one of these limited hangout types who feed people kosher conspiracies like Robert Zephyr, Asher Logos, and just hundreds of others. You're right. Yeah, more kooky bullshit from the right wingers.
Zarathustra's whole message is about rebelling against the devas, getting out from under the tyranny promulgated by the devas and their vehicles, their proxies, their manager.
This is who really runs the world. This guy right here. The elf from Lord of the Rings is really in charge. Dude, I couldn't even believe I hear this. Is this guy kidding? He really believes this? It's the intergalactic Nordic Aryan Hyperborean cabal. Dude, quick, get him on Joe Rogan and Danny Jones. Quick.
Or angels are all.
Please. Sound the alarm on the Nordic overlords. Get him on Alex Jones' show. Stat. Couldn't even believe I saw that shit, man. Look at this. This is my new favorite candidate for Congress. This MILF, this Christian MILF. Look here.
100% America was founded on Jesus Christ. It was founded.
Oh, I love that accent. Jesus Christ. Love that accent. This is what we need in America, guys. We need to bring Jesus back. Dude, she's got the MAGA makeup and lip injections.
100% America was founded on Jesus Christ. It was founded on the Holy Word of God. And I'm going to go to Congress.
No, like 0%. Jesus is not mentioned.
Oh, Jesus Christ, you're such a little bitch.
They just lie to themselves. We're founded on Jesus Christ because I saw it on a podcast. Still, though, these accents are
100% America was founded on Jesus Christ. It was founded on the Holy Word of God. And I'm going to go to Congress from District 1 in Georgia. And I'm going to let everybody know we're going to uphold the Constitution.
Uphold. This is the new and improved MTG. Jesus Christ is the King of the universe and the King of the Jews. Southern Christ Hearts. A fake accent? No, it's not, dude. You can't fake those. Look at those big blue eyes.
That is founded on God. Creator God Yahweh. All this Quran bullcrap, all this
Quran, all this Quran. It's Yahweh, okay? Okay, go ahead, Yahweh. We're founded on Yahweh. We're nothing about Yahweh.
worshiping other gods, all the separation of church and state mess that's perverted.
Perverted.
Those days are over. The church runs the state.
Oslo said $15. Jews are trying to detach America from the West and make it their own controllable asset. Courtesy Alvin, Ronald Lauded, Steve Witkoff. I'll work in this direction.
They're trying to split us against Europe. That's for sure. Our allies in Europe. Yahweh. Yeah, Yahweh.
The church runs the state. We, the people, we're the church. We run the state.
Dude.
100%.
Look at the little boy in the back. Uh-oh, mommy's ranting in the phone again. Uh-oh. Mommy put on her lipstick and's yelling at the phone again. Yahweh.
America was founded on Jesus Christ. It was founded on the Holy Word of God.
Jesus Christ.
Congress.
We're founded on Jesus Christ because I said so. There's more.
God America was founded on. This entire Constitution was founded on the Holy Word of God, on common law, which the Word of God created. It was established, common law, in the Holy Word of God, and it is what our entire society is based upon. So if you think that God the Father, Creator God, Yahweh, is not the only God and the one true God, and the God America was founded on, you're delusional. And you're dumb.
You're dumb. And you're not a Noahide. You're not a Noahide, and you're dumb. All the Goyim got to worship Yahweh and be a Noahide and get the Jewish God, or you're dumb, okay? This is Christian nationalism. She'll probably win. So it looks like this is a winning platform in Georgia. I wonder what she says about Israel. Look, I found her Twitter. Let's see what she said about Israel. Iran bombing Israel. Pray for Israel today. I stand with Israel. I want to state unequivocally that I support the state of Israel. How did I know? Here we go. God chose Israel. America chose God. We are special. He won't abandon us. Oh my God. Who would have guessed? Imagine my shock. Jesus Christ is king. He is king of America. He is king of England. He is king of Iran. He is king of Israel. He is king of all. Oh. She adores Laura Loomer. Laura Loomer. She's amazing and wonderful. I respect her belief system totally. She would vote for her in a minute. I love the people of Israel. My Savior is Jewish, and he is my everything. I have Jewish friends that are dear to me. Dude, she's so funny. I hope she wins. We need more of that. We need more Jesus in America. Jesus is back. That's so good. But watch out. We got Megyn Kelly's on the march. And Tucker Carlson.
And it's no accident. He chose that picture. And it's no accident, Tucker, because he held that up because I genuinely think Mark Levin thinks Catholics who pray the rosary are freaks, that we are kooks.
Of course,
and that's one of the reasons why he thinks we're completely fair
He's right.
to attack as woke Reich, which is what he's called me and you and others, anti-Semitic, because you're anti-Semitic because you're holding up a rosary?
Optics Prime sent $5 on Rumble. Butter my biscuits and baptize me in the trough, Yoha.
Yeah, seeing that woman just makes me think women should not be in politics. Seeing every woman in politics makes me think women shouldn't be in politics.
Well, that's sick. That's absolutely disgusting. And if you take the religious discussion there, you want to go back and argue about Jesus and Jews' role around.
It's funny that she's still kvetching about this. They're all framing, oh, it's the rosary. Oh, he hates Christians. He hates Jesus. Yeah, he's just as kooky, obviously, for doing the Tefillin. The Jews are the top dog when it comes to doing weird, kooky, freaky stuff. Like, look at all their loopholes on the Sabbath and all their weird commandments they follow, and the chicken swinging and the the circumcision, But watch out. Watch out, guys. Megyn Kelly's going to say that he killed Jesus.
Rosary? Well, that's sick. That's absolutely disgusting. And if you take the religious discussion there, you want to go back and argue about Jesus and Jews' role around the time of Christ? Okay, let's do that. How's that going to end? About the same as the discussion that people wanted to raise about black crime versus white crime ended. Glenn Lowry stood up at the time saying, that's not going to end well. Stop doing that. Stop talking about suggesting whites are committing all the crimes. You know what they're going to do soon? Is they're going to bring up some uncomfortable truths about blacks, which is eventually how that ended.
We're going to bring some uncomfortable truths about Jews killing God. Here's the threat. She's going to say he killed God. What's funny is Mark Levin didn't even say anything about Jesus or his Christianity. And he was tweeting, I love my Catholic people. I love Christians and blah, 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 Judeo-Christian values. He was doing all that. And here she is threatening you don't want to go there. We'll say you killed Jesus. You better back down, Mark Levin. This is the opposition to Mark Levin. Come on. It's a clown show.
Just stop, all right? Because never in my life in arguing with someone like a Mark Levin would I bring up his faith beliefs and call him a kook for them. That's just so hateful. And
I'll call you both kooks. It's all fake Jewish nonsense there. And why is everybody's commenting on Tucker looks so old? He posted a new photo of himself. He looks like he's aged 20 years. Is it that people are speculating he's on Ozempic or he's sick or something? He's looking old here, too. Tanning bed, too much tanning bed. I've heard that rumored as well.
Disrespect. Never would I do such a thing. But there's a reason he chose that photo with the rosary and tried to diminish Jack Posobiec, and I would argue Catholics and Christians who also pray the rosary.
We're going to pray our rosary, and no matter what you Jews say. Meh, meh, meh. He's like 50, yeah. Tucker has AIDS. I don't know about that. Okay, what else do we got here? All right, let's do some rabbi clips. Or actually, see through it all says, I can't imagine who benefits from this script. Let's hear it.
Home, what patterns do you see that when Americans hear about terror attacks in Europe or threats at home, what patterns do you see that the media is refusing to connect when it comes to Islam?
It's always a lone wolf. It's always a one-off. It's always, well, this doesn't mean anything. We don't know their motives. We do know their motives. We are known as the Great Satan. It's fascinating. If you go read the religious scriptures from the Islamist called the Twelvers, they believe in the 12th Imam. Long story short, this is what the Ayatollah Khomeini said was too dangerous for Iran in 1979. They're now the people running Iran. They're Twelvers. They believe in the 12th Imam, and they believe that the way to hasten the return of the promised one, think of, if you're a Christian, think of Jesus being the promised one, and he's coming back, and then there's going to be a judgment and a great war and everything else, and then there's peace, okay? Think of that.
That sounds exactly like Judaism and Christianity. And Islam. They're all the same thing.
Story of Jesus coming back and reverse it with the good guys and the bad guys. So Jesus is a bad guy. Our good guys are their bad guys.
Dude, are you retarded? The Muslims think Jesus is going to return to defeat the Antichrist.
Our bad guys are their good guys. If you read the Twelvers' religious texts, they believe Jesus will come back, but he will testify to the 12th Imam. He will testify to the truth of the Quran. Then anybody who doesn't believe it, they line you up and behead you. Okay, the end. It's almost as if it was written as like you were in college and you were drunk and you're like, oh, let's really freak the Christians out. Let's take their text and just turn it upside down. And
exactly.
That's not what they did. That's what they believe. When they say. And they close many of their speeches this way. Oh Allah, give
He's
me
so
the
close
to hasten the return of the promised one. Twelvers believe that you can hasten the return.
Atomic Finesse says, yeah, it's called a polemic, old man.
Think of Christians. How would you bring Christ back? Well, Christ You know, Christ has.
Dude, these fucking prophecy fairy tales, man. This is why Christians are controlled opposition, because even an anti-Jewish Christian would say the same exact thing. They do say the same things. They go, oh, the Moshiach, that's the Antichrist. Yeah, he's got to come and then have the third temple, but then Jesus is going to destroy him. He's going to come down on the cloud like a superhero. And they don't get it. All these different Judeo religions and their different apocalyptic scripts all converging together. And who originated them? And who are the ones with the secrets? And who are the ones instigating these? And who are the ones pulling the strings? Don't insert the colonel.
It's told us, the scriptures tell us, that the world has to be in chaos. There has to be so much bloodshed that it just can't.
Wave sent $5. Fake religions keeps the sheep controlled in the farm.
Yeah, perfect example. He thinks he's so smart, too, and insightful right here. It's like, oh, well, actually, it's like our good guys are their bad guys, and our bad guys are their good guys. It's like somebody just flipped the script. Yeah, exactly. They're playing you off against each other.
And God can't stand it anymore, okay? And so Christ comes back. That's what Christians believe. They believe the same thing, that the world has to be washed in blood before the promised one can return.
The same thing. So you guys believe the same thing. Jews, Christians, and Muslims all believe total chaos and war before the Jewish Moshiach utopia.
Say, let me hasten the return of the promised one. They mean, give me the strength to wash the world in blood. That's not theory. That's not a story. That's a conviction on the other side.
It's a story.
You're a fool to dismiss that. You will end up getting all of us killed.
Okay. Now do Judaism. Now do your beloved Judaism.
If you dismiss that. It doesn't mean it's going to happen.
What's going on with his forehead here? Was he wearing like a cowboy hat or something? It's like above this wrinkle line. It's real red and like bruised looking. Like he's been wearing a cowboy hat that's too tight or something.
It means you must take people seriously when they say they're going to kill you. They're telling us, we're going to wipe your civilization out.
You mean the rabbis and their anti-Edom prophecies? Yeah, we've heard them. He'll never talk about that, though.
You are the source of all evil, and only Allah is the source of good, and Christians and Jews are the source of all evil, and I will wipe them off the face of the earth.
He'll never talk about the rabbis and their anti-Edom plans. He'll never show you the clips of the rabbis saying Islam is the broom and that Islam and Christianity are meant to clash at the end times and then turn against Israel. Okay, I have one of Sneeko, too. Where's the Sneeko one? Oh, I got some more kooky stuff, too. Here's the Sneeko one. It's on this one. Shoot, where... I had one where Sneeko's like, yeah, and he's the Antichrist, and that's Jesus, and Muhammad says, and it's just... Magog maxing. Where is that one? Shoot, guys, my apologies here. I'm trying to find something. No, wait till you see the new Ian Carroll. There it is.
Oh shit. Come on board. Oh shit. Come on board. Text rabbi. Is it supposed to be the rabbi? Or can they not spell? Moshiach, let's do it. So if you don't know what it is, these trucks all over here, they're promoting the Moshiach, which in Christianity is the Antichrist and in Islam is the Dajjal. So really here they're celebrating the arrival of their Messiah. People don't know that.
And he's your anti-Messiah. Instrumental in your religion, and you need it. This is such a pantomime. It's like, oh, look, it's the Antichrist. They're supporting the Antichrist. It's the Antichrist in Christianity and Islam. Durr. Oh, but we need it. And then once he comes, then Jesus will kick his butt. I can't handle these two. One Abrahamic trying to point the finger at another Abrahamic. So, has anybody made the meme of all of the Spider-Men pointing at each other? I want to have Grok remake that meme and have it be a Muslim, a Christian priest, and a rabbi pointing at each other saying Antichrist. That's what we need.
Text terabai. Is it supposed to be the rabbi?
Yeah,
or
spelled
can
it
they
wrong.
not spell? Moshiach, let's do it. So if you don't know what it is, these trucks all over here, they're promoting the Moshiach, which in Christianity is the Antichrist and in Islam is the Dajjal. So really here they're celebrating the arrival of their Messiah. People don't know that. And they're all over the city, but that's what this is for.
They don't know that.
Promo. Right here, this guy. Moshiach coming out. And they got the license plate Shabbat. But spread the word, that's what this is. The Moshiach is literally the Antichrist because Jesus is the Messiah. They believe that he's a false Messiah and they got their own. Not to be too much of a chud. I'm just saying. Oh shit.
The purpose of Christianity.
This Gentile audience. Paul is dealing with pagan gods close up because he's telling his Gentile audiences that they should stop worshiping their native gods and make an exclusive allegiance to Paul's own God, the God of Israel. And what Paul is doing is saying that he's basically, through baptism into Christ, he's created a kind of demilitarized zone where the hostile pagan gods can't get to these audiences. He talks about in 2 Corinthians 4:4, he talks about how the God of this world has blinded the minds of unbelievers. And most spectacularly, he needs pagan gods because Christ, if he's a Davidic Messiah, David was a warrior. Christ needs to be fighting something when he comes back, and Paul provides that. He says that Christ will fight the pagan gods. Christ is going to come back and destroy them, Paul says in 1 Corinthians 15. In Philippians 2, interestingly enough, he has every knee bending above the earth and upon the earth and below the earth. It's a lot of non-human knees, right? And they're going to kneel to the victorious Messiah, to the glory of God the Father. So there's going to be this battle of the gods, and Christ will win. These are Gentiles who voluntarily associate.
See, the whole point. Battle of the gods, the Moshiach wins.
With synagogue communities. And what they're doing is adding on the God of Israel to their native pantheons. So when Paul comes with the message of just to have my God and no other gods, that's a major adjustment for God-fearers to make. It's something the synagogue never required of them, but Paul, as an apocalyptic thinker, does.
Does Paul portray Jesus as the enemy of all other gods, or not necessarily, only some of them?
I think it's all other gods because he has these superhuman needs, all acknowledging the God of Israel, which is not the situation that Paul is currently in because he's in defiance of these gods.
See, all about conquering the God of Israel, conquering all the other gods.
So it's ultimately Jesus is the means by which the God of Israel asserts his authority and power over these other gods. The gods are demoted to the status of, all of them are demoted to the status of daimonia, which means godlings, and ultimately become evil demons. And as this movement remythologizes the world, so the gods never disappear. They always have social agency. That's why even if you're a Christian or a Jew, for that matter, you're wearing an amulet that has sacred names on it to make sure these gods can't get in your way.
What was Paul's message to the Gentiles? What was his goal with them?
Well, he's dealing with a very powerful apocalyptic mentality, which says that at the end of time, when God's kingdom is established, one of the things that's going to mean is that Gentiles who are traditionally in this Jewish myth incorporated into the kingdom as Gentiles. But the difference is that, I'll phrase it slightly differently, these Gentiles or pagans, the word is the same in Greek, ethne, are ex-pagan Gentiles. So that means that they have to stop worshiping their own gods and that they destroy the images of their gods so that they're worshiping in a Jewish manner.
See, this was the whole goal of Saul the Pharisee, This is so straightforward and not even controversial. Saul the Pharisee and all the Jews, their goal was their God to conquer all the other gods, for the Gentiles and the nations and the Goyim to bury their idols. And they did that through Christianity, and that was the goal.
The Jewish God without access to images anymore.
The Jewish
And that's,
God.
That's part of the when God's kingdom is established, his authority is absolute and visible over other gods and all other peoples. And it's through Christ that this is going to be accomplished, according to Paul.
Mm-hmm. There it is. Game, set, match. But Christians don't care about the truth. Christianity is founded on a lie, and they have nothing but lies to defend it. Yeah, see through it all says, there it is. And meanwhile, this is the type of bad faith arguments you'll get from Christians, Christian apologists.
I wouldn't. If somewhere within the Bible, I were to find a passage that said 2 + 2 = 5, I wouldn't question what I'm reading in the Bible. I would believe it, accept it as true, and then do my best to work it out and to understand it.
That's a good goy. Good goy. Don't use your worldly mind. Don't use your rationality. No, just whatever my Bible says. If whatever those Jews, what a dope. Whatever those Jews wrote.
I read about it in a book.
It must be true. Hey, if the Jews wrote it in their magic book, it must be true. 2 + 2 = 5. The Christians will always make fun of the leftists and say, the liberals, and be like, oh, they think a man's a woman and 2 + 2 = 5. And the Christians, this really is how the Christians do it too. Whatever the Bible says, they'll defend it. This is the Ortho Bros argument too. It's like, this is our morality. This is everything we know is grounded in the Bible. If the Bible says it, then it's real. And whatever my church fathers say, that's what that's what it is. That's the authority. What's your authority from? Your brain, your consciousness? Or mine's from the Jews in the Jew book. 2 + 2 = 5? Yeah, if the Bible says so. What, a shark was a vegan and ate kelp? Well, if the Bible said so. Need more Amalek, who's going to be back on the show soon, says, E. Michael Jones, complete retard, angrily goes off on a question from one of his listeners. They ask, how can they wake up their clergy to the JQ? And he starts going, my Bondi false flag, blah, blah, Jews kill. Let's see it.
Next question here on.
It makes me wonder. I feel bad if he really is losing it, but I think he's always been this crazy. Let's hear how the Catholics, the based e-crusaders, are going to wake up the Catholic churches. Let's hear it.
Next question here on X from Sam N. They ask, I spoke with a priest and mentioned I was studying the Jewish question, and he asked me why in a perplexed tone. I said it's important. How to bring this church teaching up with clergy?
Yeah, tell them abortion's a fundamental Jewish value. So how do we deal with that? Do we have to support? Is it anti-Semitic to bring this up? How can you avoid the Jewish question when they've taken control of our government and our culture and they're now going to punish anybody? How about
these Catholics are so obsessed with abortion? EMJ is like, oh, all these innocent or ghetto blacks got to have all their kids. We need more unwanted kids. The number one issue. How are we going to, hey, EMJ, how are we going to wake up my priest, my father, to the JQ? And he's like, oh, tell him Jews love abortion. Yeah, that'll get it done. Green pill dad jokes.
I don't know where you're from. Are you from Australia? If you're from Australia, they had a false flag operation on Bondi Beach, and then Yahoo showed up and told Albanese to punish the Australian people for a false flag that the Israelis orchestrated. And
is that proven?
Cheap suit.
Dude, does this idiot think that these AI images were proof? He's like, I saw it on Facebook. The shooter trained in the IDF. Like, that's his evidence? He constantly retreats to the abortion thing? Yeah.
Riding the wave sent $5. Fake religions keeps the sheep controlled in the farm.
Right. Oh, that's not the one
Both
that it showed
Animus
on the
sent
screen.
$5 on Rumble.
There it is.
Decided to shave my beard off today. Regret is setting in deeply.
Yeah, never shave it, bro. Dude, I love it. Hey, EMJ, how can I bring up the JQ to my clergy at my Catholic cathedral? Well, you just tell them about Bondi Beach was a false flag. Yeah, that's going to turn out great. This is why we can't abort EMJ. This is why we can't let the Christian anti-Semite boomers be leading the conversation.
I don't know where you're from. Are you from Australia?
Well, if you're from Australia, tell them that Bondi was a false flag.
Bondi Beach, and then Yahoo showed up and said, told Albanese to punish the Australian people for a false flag that the Israelis.
Okay, great. That's going to work out great. Let's see. Praising Rabbi Jesus in the maximum security prison. Jesus is a hell of a drug. Yeah, thugs for Jesus. Let's see. Born again. The toll has been paid. Save, Naka. Dude, these guys are like... Yeah, dude, they're feeling the Holy Spirit. Get out of the grave. Get up out of that grave, brothers in Christ. Tards for Jesus. Whoa. She's getting it in jail. What's she doing there? Good God behind bars. I got to follow that Instagram. Good one, John. Very inclusive environment. Yeah, it does. Why aren't these criminals released yet? Jesus said forgive. Yeah, let them all out. If they're washed in the blood, they're born again. If they believe in the magical rabbi, jamming for Jesus. Remember that shirt I showed? It was like a TikTok promotion for a t-shirt, and it said like, God paid my... what was it? It was a funny one. God paid my debt or something like that. It had something to do with when you're in jail. What was that phrase? Who's going to remember that? It had me dying. God paid the toll. God paid. Cover me in the blood. You murdered someone? It's okay. Jesus loves you. Need More Amalek says, the wardens love this because it makes them easier to control. Yeah, it makes them good guys. All right, let's see. Meet Nate Waller. He's a Christian from Tennessee living in Israel.
Today, it's not a house of prayer for all nations.
Oh, God.
Where are you from? What's your name?
Nate Waller.
Where are you from?
Originally from Tennessee. Now I live in Arbracha.
And what are you doing right now in here? With your whole family?
Yes, with the whole family. We're here.
No, it wasn't Baal. It wasn't Baal is not the word I'm looking for.
Are you Christian? Are you evangelical? Yeah, all right.
Yes, we bring Christian volunteers from all over the world to come and help the Yeshuvim.
Okay. Okay, and
we
how?
believe in the that the Jews have a right to return to Har Bayit and to pray and to it's amazing things that are happening
and
here
to build the Sar Temple.
B'ezrat Hashem.
B'ezrat Hashem.
Oh, dude, he's over there and wants to be a slave and build the third temple.
Yeah, that's right.
Today, it's not a house of prayer for all nations. But B'ezrat Hashem, very soon, all nations will be able to come and experience God.
Okay, thank you very much.
Yeah, all the goy gonna come and believe in God. Dude, I know I posted the shirt. Why am I not seeing it? It was like God paid my toll or something like that. Joel Webbin, who backed out of a debate with me, says blaspheming Christ will receive harsh legal penalties in America coming soon. Fuck you and fuck your fake Jewish God and your Jewish blasphemy laws. Good luck. Try it.
First, you're a Christian nationalist, right?
Yes.
Okay, so I want to ask you about America first, but first, let's start with the Christian nationalist piece. Obviously, they both run into each other. When you say you're a Christian nationalist, what do you mean by that?
I believe that America's a Christian nation.
Yeah.
Which is sort of in the name. Christian nationalist, America's a Christian nation. And I think that Christianity is an essential part of America's identity. Fundamentally, I think that America should have a Christian government, is what I think that ultimately comes down to.
Oh, we need more Christians in government, guys. You know the problem with America? Not enough Christians in power. That's what we need more of. Yeah, that'll solve the Zionist chosen people problem. More rabbi believers, more magical Jewish fairy tale believers. That's what we need. It's like, that's the problem. We've got all the 9 in 10 in Congress identify as Christian. I hear people say like, oh, it's a Jewish empire. It's not the American empire. It's the Jewish empire. Well, Christian has been the dominant religion and it's a Jewish empire. So do the math. He needs to pray harder. Oh, we just need Catholics in charge. That'll fix it. Really.
And if you want to get very specific and detailed about it, I believe that only Christians should be legislators, judges, and in the executive branch.
Amen.
I think that if Christianity is right and true, if God has a law, then...
Yeah, and then, well, if you don't bow down to our Jewish Messiah, then you will be put in prison, and we want blasphemy laws. Okay.
Our government should follow that.
Totally serious.
Our identity. I think that's the truth. I think that's consistent with what our civilization is. So I would start there. I think that we should have a fully Christian government.
So we need more Christians. More of the problem is the solution to these guys. You know, they could be focusing on, hey, let's have less people believing in the magical prophecies, and then Jews wouldn't have so much power. No, they're not worried about that. They're not worried about all of the Christians with all the influence. All these guys fantasizing about their blasphemy laws and advocating for more Christianity and more Jesus believers is only going to empower the Christian Zionists and the Jews that are in the positions of power. This is controlled opposition when they're saying more of the problem is the solution. Clearly.
You fool. You.
All right, guys. You know how we do the bit of Ian Carroll smoking? We're going to have to bring up the hits from the Bong song. I think I might have it, actually. Hold on. Let's see here. If I do hits, did I ever save that? No, I didn't. Check out Ian Carroll's latest, bro. It's like the globalist, reptilian, interdimensional, spiritual Illuminati, bro. Connects it all, man.
And then there is like the World Economic Forum. The Illuminati is always kind of there. The aliens, the lizard people, the Council on Foreign Relations, the Trilateral Commission, you know, the Bilderberg Group.
Are you retarded?
Epstein's employers, they weren't just the government of Israel. The like 9/11 layer,
dude,
like
man,
you know, like the cold case files layer.
It's like everybody. It's like all the kosher conspiracies. Everybody but the Bible.
The Illuminati is always kind of there.
It's like Illuminati.
The Council on Foreign Relations.
Lizard people.
Commission, you know, the Bilderberg Group.
Thank you, Beowulf.
Are you retarded?
Beowulf 914 sent $5 on Rumble.
The government of
Small
Israel.
hat check.
So like 9/11.
No small hat confirmed. It's like the globalists. Hey, what's up? Thanks for the tip, man. Here's your pizza. I'm the TikTok conspiracy bro. It's like the Illuminati, reptilian, interdimensional, spiritual globalist, man.
just the government of Israel. At the like 9/11 layer, like the the cold case files layer.
It's not Jews, man. Space Nazis, man.
Like portals.
Thank you, Rubber Baby Bugger Bump. That's a new name. Thanks to the big dono there, bro. Tell us more, Ian. Dude, you got it all figured out, man. You and Candace. Charlie Kirk truthers, man. Hey, man, what's your favorite conspiracy? Dude, hey, Ian. You heard of the Nordic Aryan Hyperborean
Onyx rocks and
overlords,
bro?
bro?
A young person with discernment should recognize these two as effeminate husks. I don't get it. Why do these people not want to believe in something empowering for themselves and progeny?
A lot of weak, gullible sheep out there. I think that's the problem.
There is a spiritual component going on, but who knows? Pizzagate.
Dude, it could be spiritual, but like, who knows, man? Allegedly. It just feels a little weird, man. It's like we're in a movie, bro. Yeah, the Jewish Twilight Zone movie. Where the kosher conspiracy kooks get boosted and platformed everywhere and pumped by the algorithm and never censored.
There is a spiritual component going on, but who knows?
It's like fallen angels, Nephilim, bro. It's like Satan worshippers. Jesus is cool, man. You want to believe in Jesus? Man, totally all good, man. Everything's a conspiracy but Jesus, man. That's totally real, man. Totally kosher.
Pizzagate was a big part of it. Epstein was a big part of it. 9/11 was a big part of it when you really think hard. The Brigitte Macron story might be the clearest window into it.
The fact that she speculated that she's a man?
No, God! No, God, please, no! No! No!
Yeah, dude. Bridget Macron's a man. Candace.
With the Brigitte Macron story, with Candace Owens' story,
exposed it all.
Kind of this trifecta that has all these little subtle spider webs out into these other networks and these other stories.
Dude, think of it like spider webs, man. Tentacles of spider webs everywhere. The reptilians, the spiritual, the Nephilim, the fallen angels, the Anunnaki, the Illuminati. It's all connected, man. It's a big conspiracy, bro.
It's kind of
just not Jesus in the Bible, though. That's all totally cool.
The shadow government behind everything.
Remember when he was on with Roseanne and it was like, oh, dude, we just got to believe in God, man. Whatever God is, dude, that's what you need, man. Just the Satanish and the demonic and this devil worshippers, bro. Shit. Hey, welcome to Kooksville. This guy on Joe Rogan. He's like, dude, I got a source that says that aircraft can go 210 times the speed of light. Rogan's like, wow, bro, that's amazing, dude. Tell me more.
A private air show at Lockheed Martin by.
Have you ever done
Mark
DMT on shrooms in an isolation chamber
called Brad
after
Sorensen.
a cold plunge, bro?
Mark McCandlish, military illustrator, he had a friend called Brad Sorensen. Now, Brad Sorensen was a government guy. Aerospace engineer. Lockheed Martin had quite an extensive portfolio. And Brad Sorensen goes to his buddy one day, Mark McCandlish, and he says, I was shown something, and I want you to draw it. I'm going to describe it to you in great detail, and I want you to create the illustration. Brad Sorensen says that, I think it was in like the 70s or like late 60s or early 70s, that he was invited to a private air show at Lockheed Martin by an individual who was a good friend of his in the military, who was higher up than him. And apparently, he didn't have what they call the tickets, the right classifications to actually get access to this.
The names sent $5 on Rumble. Someone needs to look deep into Carol's background. I bet he's funded by some Thile-affiliated network and possibly Russians, the same groups that are most definitely funding Owens and Carlson.
I think so. I would not doubt that for a second. He has no social media history going back after a few years ago either. He was just an Uber driver, man. Dropped out of high school. That really is true. Dropped out of high school. Dude, now he's the top journalist in the world on Twitter, bro. We are the media now, man. The new mainstream alternative media, bro.
Individual who was a good friend of his in the military, who was higher up than him. And apparently this, he didn't have what they call the tickets, the right classifications to actually get access to this private air show, but his friend brought him because he had the tickets. And essentially they bring him into a hangar in Lockheed Martin where 3 large saucers of varying size were hovering a few feet off of the
coast
ground.
to coast.
They were described as instantaneous nuclear payload delivery systems. That's the way that they were actually classifying them. Had a nickname for them. Instantaneous nuclear payload delivery systems. Like the idea that you could just instantaneously deliver a nuclear payload to anywhere in the world.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh my God, dude! Really? Like in an instant, you could bomb anybody in an instant? Oh, whoa, man!
Keep this stuff secret. The ships were nicknamed Mama Bear, Baby Bear, and Papa Bear.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's really interesting about this is that Brad Sorensen has never gone public.
Total secret.
But I was in the room when he was phoned. And
I was in the room.
Say things that have never been on the record before. No one's ever contacted Brad Sorensen. Mark McCann.
I heard a guy who talked to a guy who made a claim that he saw a guy and saw Mama Bear, Papa Bear, and Baby Bear. Okay.
Took his own life a number of years ago. His closest friends would say that that was not anything untoward. It's hard to know. I didn't know the man. All I know is this is the man that produced an incredibly profound illustration and then eventually took his own life.
Oh my God. Some lunatic made a drawing and then killed himself. Oh, sounds legit.
Sorensen has never...
Dude, quick! Get him booked on Joe Rogan to talk about it.
Gone public, ever. Never. I've got quite a few contacts now because of
Pete
my
Rules
research.
247 sent $5 on Rumble. This guy's friend sounds like he would be friends with Mitch Snow.
Yeah. Has Rogan ever had anybody on to say the Bible's fake and Jesus is and it's about ruling the world and that the Moshiach and Jesus is a myth ever? No, but we're hearing about spacecraft that can go 200 times the speed of light. Like, that's legit.
Affiliations that I've managed to gain.
You got Ian Carroll going on talking about aliens on the space station on Joe Rogan.
With people in like the US Navy and Intel, and a good friend of mine who was able to actually find his number and get in touch with Brad Sorensen. I was present when he was phoned. And,
this is the worst story ever.
My friend introduces himself to him, and he'd never spoken to him before. And
I could just tell this guy's a bullshit artist.
Shop, first of all, he said that he wanted to reach out to him because he'd heard about him through various stories online. But anyway.
Oh my God! Get to the point. Why is this guy on Rogan?
About Mark McCandlish and this alien reproduction vehicle, and Brad Sorensen.
Jonger Wright sent $50 at him. I have to say you and Sitho Atoll are the champs and deserve far
Dude, you're
more
the
praise
champ,
than
John.
you on a stick gets from Christians. You both woke up many of us. Putting my shekels on that we have a chance to save the Goyim. We have no other option.
We have no other option. There's always a chance. It's not over until it's over. It's so obvious when we have so much material and proof and receipts. It just blows my mind that people just love these Ian Carroll, kooky Joe Rogan distractions.
I'm actually very angry about Mark and how he said that I gave this man the keys to the kingdom and he went out and told the whole fucking world. And I will never do that because my employers will fry me. He said they will fucking fry me if I speak out about this.
Yeah.
But I am capable of building and designing an aircraft that can go 210 times the speed of light.
Oh my God.
Yeah, he reiterated that multiple times.
Dude, he just shocked Joe Rogan out of his chair.
Building and designing an aircraft that can go 210 times the speed of light.
Look at Jogan.
Bro. Yeah, he reiterated that multiple times.
What?
Yeah, I
what year was this?
I've sat on this for a couple of years. It's about 2 years ago. My friend found him. Yeah.
Joe Rogan's like, God, why did we book this guy?
I was
instantaneous nuclear payload delivery.
Dude. Is that an acronym for something, bro? Where's the latest from Candace Owens? Oh, Yeah, now TP USA and Erica Kirk are robots. They're not even humans.
Hybrid. You know what I mean? Like something very disturbing is happening.
Important topics for sure, right? Volkish spirit. Yeah, the issues that really matter.
In America, I feel like AmFest is, or what it did for me was it contributed to my realization that the future, the dark future that everyone's always predicting, like the AI future, it's here. We're actually here. I think that we are fighting machines. I think that these people are not humans, that they're sentinels that maybe look like humans. That's how I feel. I feel like it's the single solitary event that contributed to my realization that the future.
Sentinels that look like humans, huh? Now we're getting to the bottom of things. She's like the crazy girl on the plane. Like, what did she say? Like, what's going on? What are you? Or something crazy she said.
Future is happening right now. Leading people into AI, I have always sensed this demonic because I'm telling you, I don't think people are human. Like, I look at Elon.
Dude, they're not even human. They're like aliens. It's like demonic. It's like satanic. It's like totally not Jesus and Catholicism.
Musk and Sam Altman and Peter Thiel. And I'm pretty sure they're hybrid. You know what I mean?
Pretty sure they're hybrids.
Look like an Apple software that I should be able to download at night, you know?
I don't know, but I know they're not humans. You know what I mean? They're giving non-human vibes. You know what I mean? I think they're like demonic entities.
Like my phone's getting an update or something. It's something in the eyes. Like, I don't know. I'm like, I know I'm human. I don't know if I stabbed you if you bleed, you know? I'm not going to stab them.
It's like, she's like the woman on the plane. Motherfucker back there is not real. He is not real. Lizard overlords. Yeah. Candace is really, really getting to it now. They're holograms.
But I don't know if they bleed all the way. I think a battery would fall out. You know what I mean? The gap that's between us and the rest of them is essentially...
Yo! Thank you, White Welder.
Content, my brother. My mind is blown. I was so blind for so long.
Good. I'm so glad to hear it. Pick up the book. You'll really be blown. The book really covers it all.
They don't know how to behave like humans. You know what I mean? Like we're fighting
about to hit the goal.
A computer code that is presenting as a human being, but actually it can't comprehend.
It's like a spiritual battle against like robots and satanic demon Nordic Aryan overlords. And like the Illuminati, globalist, reptilian, international, space elves, secret spacecraft, alien, intergalactic, dude, everything is such kooky, kosher conspiracies out there. It's making me crazy. Humanoids. It's just everywhere. Schizophrenic, mental illness everywhere.
Human emotion, and the programmers can't quite write the code specifically enough to emulate real human emotion. And so in response, they're just multiplying the sentinels. Like they're sending more of them to say and do things that are obviously abnormal, that are obviously inhumane. And they're hoping that with enough of them pretending like it's fine, they can override our humanity. I know I'm human, but I don't know if I stabbed you if you bleed, you know?
Doesn't anyone notice this? I feel like I'm taking crazy pills!
Senator Bernie Moreno, speaking at Chabad Synagogue in Miami at an event with Netanyahu, urges the audience to spread Hasbara to advance the interest of Israel. So just a normal Wednesday.
Difficult target. And what we've witnessed since October 7th is a nation that rallied with tremendous excellence in the way you defended your homeland, the way you decided you will not allow something like that to occur ever again. And it's that brilliance, that excellence that you must now use to fight a new and much more difficult target, which is a misinformation campaign being financed by tens of billions of dollars on social media that's affected college campuses, that's affected actually K through 12 now, that's affected our nonprofits, that quite frankly, and I've witnessed it as a new United States Senator, has affected our elected officials who should know better and who do know better. but are buying into propaganda that is just fundamentally flawed. So my plea to all of you here is, I'll echo what the Prime Minister said. Please do everything possible to rally the brilliance of the Israeli people, the brilliance of the Jewish people, to bring truth to social media, because we know what's right. We know they're wrong. Please know that with me and with Senator Moody and virtually the entire Republican conference, we have your backs because we know you have ours. Thank you very much.
Oh, it was "My debt is paid," something like that. That shirt. Maybe if I look up debt. Let's go. We got another one from him.
Thank you. So let me start by giving all of you a huge thank you as a Christian, not as a senator, not as a politician.
Thank you, Jews. Thank you for Jesus.
Because you see, what I understand and what Christians all over America understand is that without a strong state of Israel, Christianity would quite literally be wiped off the face of the earth also. So thank you for your efforts there.
Really? How so?
And on behalf of the U.S. government, let me also say thank you. Because Israel is quite literally fighting the war that otherwise we would have to fight. Thank you for your sacrifice. Thank you for what you do.
Oh my God. Christian.
Thank you.
Typical Christian. Senator Ashley Moody at Chabad Synagogue.
In Florida, we happen to be the home state of two of the greatest allies of the state of Israel, President Donald J. Trump and Florida Governor Ron DeSantis.
Her voice kills me. Ron DeSantis.
It should surprise no one when I became the Attorney General here in Florida, having been a judge, someone who knew what it meant to protect rights, that the first thing we did as a Florida cabinet in unity is take our first international cabinet meeting to the state of Israel.
Oh my God.
In our
so
new
cringe.
embassy in Jerusalem. That was in 2019. And I learned firsthand immediately what it was to fight, because we got sued while I was
Make
there,
it stop.
and as Attorney General, I fought back.
Yeah, maybe Candace is right.
I learned on that trip
She's not human.
an understanding and faith and meaning of what it means to live in the state of Israel and your home. And I met with experts in security, in the rule of law, and I understood and saw firsthand how important our ally was between the state of Israel and not just the United States of America, but the beating heart, the beacon of freedom for this nation, the free state of Florida.
Wow, dude. It's just like a Shabbos Goy conference. Okay, let's see. I think we're going to end it with this today. Scott Adams, who is dying, I believe, of pancreatic cancer. One of his final moves is to throw a Pascal's wager bone to his Christian friends. Alabama, Kermit the Frog, if he had a sex change or taking hormones. Yeah, that's a good one. That voice was like the worst I've ever heard. Okay, so look, and then he follows up and he says, no more. Scott Adams politely requests that the Christians back off from giving him medical and religious advice. So at first I thought he was just trying to like pander and throw a bone to the Christians, but he was really just saying he accepts Jesus so that all the Christians would stop harassing him. But look at this. Scott Adams says he'll announce that they don't care that he's doing this as like a funny way of saying leave him alone. They go, Jason Cohen, Daily Caller, Cohen at Daily Caller. Scott Adams announces he'll convert to Christianity in his final days, and they're all happy. 22,000 likes, 2.6 million views. Pascal's wager, which is so stupid. And all the Christians are in the comments like, it's smart. He's got good logic. God just loves people trying to hedge their bets and get into heaven. Let's see.
And especially whenever I talk about this.
I hate seeing him like this. Makes me think a lot about how shitty it would be to get cancer and die like this.
Whenever I talk about this.
Yeah, they're so dumb and gullible and easy to placate. Exactly. Watch.
Whenever I talk about this simulation, and especially when I talk about my own impending death, many of my Christian...
Caden 13 sent $5 on Rumble. The historical ties between Jews, Florida, and Caribbean piracy is interesting. Jake Shields had an interesting guest on the topic last month.
Oh, yeah, I didn't see that. Who's the guest? It is Aryan Blondie. Real depressing seeing this.
Death. Many of my Christian friends and Christian followers say to me, Scott, you still have time. You should convert to Christianity. And I usually just let that sit because that's not an argument I want to have. I've not been a believer. But I also have respect for any Christian who goes out of their way to try to convert me. Because how would I believe you believe your own religion if you're not trying to convert me? So I have great respect for people who care enough that they want me to convert and then go out of their way to try to convince me.
See, I just care so much. I want to save them from their Jewish brainwashing. So the feeling is mutual. Yeah, he got vaccinated. He's spoken about how upset he was that he got vaccinated, I believe. Also, when he first got cancer, I heard he was like trying to take ivermectin and hydroxychloroquine or something like that, and then it didn't work. And then he was like tweeting and begging Trump to give some like new advanced type of medicine.
$5 late to the party. We'll catch the restream. Where will your book be available to purchase?
I think the first place is going to be Amazon, and then I'm going to buy it through my website, hardcover, signed, like limited edition, sometime down the line after that.
You're going to hear for the first time today that it is my plan to convert. So I still have time, but my understanding is you're never too late. And on top of that, any skepticism I have about reality would certainly be instantly answered if I wake up in heaven. I do believe that the dominant Christian theory is that I would wake up in heaven if I have a good life. Yeah, I don't necessarily have to, just state something in advance.
Dude, his replies and retweets, quote tweets, are full of Christians going, no, you can't just be a good person. You have to accept Jesus as the Son of God and died for your sins and blood, the only Son of God. You have to do that or you can't go to... Yeah, he's humoring them, but they don't care. They're all don't see it. They don't get it. Sometimes lying is so much better than fighting retards. I know. He had to ask again after this. He tried to placate them and just humor them so they'd leave him alone in his last days with their trying to push Jesus on him so he can go to heaven. And then he had to double down and say it again.
And so, to my Christian friends, yes, it's coming. So you don't need to talk me into it. I am now convinced that the risk reward is completely smart. If it turns out that there's nothing there, I've lost nothing. But I've respected your wishes, and I like doing that. If it turns out there is something there, and the Christian model is the closest to it, I win. So with your permission, I promise you that I will convert.
With your permission. Yeah, I'm sure God will be like, well, he didn't really believe. God's at the gate, the pearly gates in heaven. And he's like, well, he didn't really believe, but he hedged his bets and said, like, well, he'll say he believes just in case. I'm sure that works. Scott Adams is like,
Help me, Jesus! Help me, Jewish God!
And the Christians are just like clapping like seals. Yay, he did it. Scott Adams politely requests people back off from giving him religious advice.
It's a private relationship.
Look at this. He says, I appreciate the outpouring of suggestions and questions, but what happens next is between me and Jesus. I won't be responding to your well-intentioned messages on the topic. They're a lot. The guy's like on his final days dying of cancer, and Christians are obnoxiously annoying him about accepting Jesus so he doesn't go to hell. Talk about annoying.
As much as I appreciate how much you care about me, and I appreciate your efforts to suggest things I can do, at the moment it's not helping me to get medical or religious advice. So if you would respect that, that would be my best situation. On the medical stuff, you should assume I've looked into all the options. On the religious stuff, I would like you to say that it's a private relationship between me and Jesus, and I'd like to keep it that way. But I totally appreciate the good intentions. I do love it that you care enough about to write me long messages about what I should do medically or religiously. But
Dude,
it doesn't work.
Imagine how annoying that must be. His messages are full of obnoxious Christians henpecking him about Jesus. In other words, yeah, Onyx Rock. In other words, please stop, you annoying assholes.
With my current situation. So I'll just ask you to back off on that, please.
Back off, please, Christians.
All right. Snort the Bible. Good advice.
Snort the Bible.
I'm going to talk privately to the good people on locals. And so we'll be private on that in 30 seconds. For the rest of you, thank you so much for joining.
You know, I want to see. Hold on. Let's do this. Reopen, close tab. I wanted to read some of these comments. It's too late. This is depressing. It is depressing. I hate seeing it. I'm starting to get to that age where I'm worried about, especially when you got young kids that you want to look after for a long time, you know, staying healthy and living to an old age. Look at this. Here it is. 700 likes by this obnoxious Christian. You don't wake up in heaven because you had a good life. Being good enough isn't good enough, goy. You got to believe in the magical Jews and the magical Jewish prophecies, or you're going to burn forever. You wake up in heaven for having accepted salvation through Christ and his forgiveness of his sins we commit while attempting and failing to live a good life. 700 likes. Look at this. The prayers have paid off. God bless Scott Adams. It's never too late. Dude, another one seething about, no, you don't get into heaven for living a good life. That doesn't matter. You could be the worst evil person your whole life and then just say you believe on your deathbed, and then these Christians will think you go to heaven. That's how stupid this is. Jesus said I'm the way and the truth and the life. This is the founder of Give, Send, Go, too. No one comes to the Father but through me. I don't give a fuck about getting to your fake Jewish father. He died for you, Scott. Come to him to find him. How about back off, Yaakov? You questioning my faith, bro? Yeah.
Yeah, I've got faith, dude. What do you have, you little bitch? You want to throw down, bro?
Okay, hey.
You want to see what it feels like to talk shit about Christians, dude? I'll kick your heathen ass.
Yeah, that's the Christian response, totally. This is great news. God bless you, Scott. The Christian theory is not that you wake up in heaven if you... They're all seething that he said that. Good for him. Best choice. Truth leads where logic fears to tread. Sure, bro. My eyes are on God. Welcome home, Scott. Evan Kilgore. Praise the Lord. These people are so dumb they don't even get that he's not even being serious. He's making a joke and trying to be polite, and you guys don't even get it. Very moving, Julia says. 180,000 followers. Dude, we're not going to make it. These people are not going to make it. Wow. 1 million followers. Praying for him. Incredible. 350,000 followers. See how the pandering and throwing a bone and Christ grifting, how popular it is? Is this not obvious with the responses that he's getting? Do it now. You don't know when you will draw your last breath. If you confess that Jesus Christ is Lord and Savior of your life, nothing else matters, says Erica. This is so dumb. So you're telling me you could be the most evil, you could be a murderer, a rapist, you could be the most immoral person that ever lived, but if you just confess that that Christ is King and the Mashiach, nothing else matters? Insane.
Are you questioning my faith? You want to go?
All right. I'm disgusted. I've seen enough. I'll cover this tomorrow. Well, maybe not. Maybe tomorrow night. We'll cover some of this Fuentes stuff. Maybe we'll cover it. We'll see what comes up. I do plan on doing that. Finishing the book in the next few days. Like I said, I'm doing my last final read through right now and then getting it published. I do have a show debunking Instagram disinfo that I'm going to do very soon as well. We broke the goal. We missed it yesterday. It had me down. It had missed no more news, disappointed, but we hit it today. Thank you so much, everybody, for the support.
That's awesome.
Yeah. It's awesome.
Thank y'all. Come again.
Come again tomorrow. Come again to the next show. I love you all. Leave a comment. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Clip the show. Share the links. Give it a like. Sign up for Subscribe Star. You guys know what to do. Have a nice night, and I will see you guys again very soon. Take care. Somebody could be a complete angel and help people and never do anything immoral, But if they don't believe trust the Jews and their prophecies and their fairy tales, well, you're an evil, demonic, satanic antichrist, and you're going to burn in hell forever. Amen. Praise Yahweh.